So I'm really happy to be here today. You're probably a little bit tired of listening to an old guy speak. So we have some young generation here. So you'll come to this conference and you're going to learn a lot of skills which you can take home for yourself. But I think it would be better if you could actually come here and take home some skills and knowledge which you can bring home to your kids and family. So I want to teach you about how you can inspire your kids to learn about technology, because I'm sure you have some young ones and it is questionable whether or not they're interested in development, because they probably see us do it. So hopefully I can help bring out some of the fun side of technology and give you some ideas to bring home. So my name is Cassandra Chin, and I recently became a Java champion just 2 weeks ago. And I'm a computer science student. I've been teaching kids workshops for quite a while, and I've given keynotes before, so it's not my first one. And I'm also a book author. So these 2 books were sitting on the table, kind of interrupting the shots earlier. But it's Fippy's AI Friend and Raising Young Coders. I'll talk through it a bit later. And also run some interviews, so I'll be doing those on Thursday. I didn't just get to where I am here today magically. These are some photos from when I was teaching kids workshops. When I was 12 years old, that was when I first taught my first workshop. But even before then, it really started with DevOps for Kids. Back when I was in elementary school, I used to attend DevOps for Kids workshops with one of my friends, and that's what really got me interested in technology. I remember playing with the Now robot. It's like this white robot, and you can program it to dance. It's really cool. So I think these early experiences getting into technology is what really brought me here today. And I want to talk about why technology actually matters for getting your kids involved. Only you can improve diversity. Women who try AP Computer Science are 10 times more likely to major in it, and Black and Latino students are 7 times more likely. So just by involving girls and women in technology, it'll make them more likely to want to do it in the future. And computer science biases starts when kids are as young as 6 years old. So basically the moment they can talk fluently, they're already getting some biases that computer is for boys. So anything below this graph would be computers favoring girls, which basically never happens, unfortunately. But you can see that as kids get older, they form more and more of a bias that technology is more of a boys thing. So as kids grow up, they get less and less, more likely to want to do computer science as a girl. So it's really important to start introducing them young. And a lot of world languages are taught in schools. I remember I had to take 2 years of Chinese in high school, which if you told me to write a sentence in Chinese, I just flat out can't do it. I'm not sure what I learned. But learning programming languages, I remember I took Java classes in high school, and I still remember how to code in Java, and I will be using it in my future. So these are the languages which matter. And not all screen time is equal. A lot of parents feel like kids are on their phones and devices too much, and it's basically brain rot. But I want to divide it into not all screen time is evil. I think that passive social media, YouTube, is usually not the best use of time. Better use of time, I actually used to enjoy playing Minecraft a lot. So that's where I learned a lot of my Java. And I think the best use of screen time is learning. So learning how to code with Scratch and a lot of these educational systems. And they're designed to be fun. So I think just showing kids that you could be playing video games or doing coding on Scratch is a better use of computer time than social media. And I think there are a lot of common parenting mistakes when introducing technology to kids. A lot of times the parents like to leave their daughters out. I see this a lot. This was actually a kids workshop I taught at CNCF Kids Day. And because this parent brought their daughter to the workshop, they actually got this opportunity to be interviewed live. Like, they would never get this opportunity if they haven't come. So just bring your daughters and give them opportunity. I think that's what matters the most. And this was one of the early workshops I taught in the Bay Area, so nearby San Francisco. And there's a slight issue with this workshop. There's mostly boys in the room. I think we need to be the ones to change this. So involve your girls in STEM and just be outgoing, involve them, and we need to change things. And having computers at home matters. All incoming technology majors own a computer. It doesn't guarantee that just by having a computer you'll go into computer science, but it just sets the starting point. I remember I built my first computer when I was like 4 years old. Like, all I did was put the screws into the motherboard and the case, but just those early interactions are what makes me comfortable with technology. And one of the big mistakes is assuming you need to be good at math to be good at computer science. I personally don't like math at all, never have, but somehow I'm still in technology and I really love it. So I want to say that you don't need to love math to love technology. And this was a study where students interviewed what classes they enjoyed the most. You can see that math is at the really bottom. So most kids don't like math, but at the same time, computer science and technology is at around 50%. So kids who enjoy technology, about half of them, maybe even more, won't like math. And no one codes in assembly language anymore. Yes, historically you needed to know math, but I think today with Java coding, and especially with AI, there's less math involved. And this is a program which was in my Raspberry Pi workshops, which I taught kids. In this program, I only had the kids write main.whistle, so it's just one line of code to make it less intimidating. But you can see that there's basically no math in this code. It's all logic and function calling, and that's what most of our modern programs are today. And this is not the book you want to show when teaching kids technology. I remember receiving one of these when I was really young. I flipped through the pages and I was done. If that was my only exposure to technology, I wouldn't be here today. These are better books for introducing your kids to technology. Obviously, Fippy's AI Friend is the best book because I wrote it. But the other two books are fine too. They're top rated on Amazon, and they generally teach technology by having you write games. I just wanted to show you the Fippy's AI Friend book I have for a moment. So this is a picture book which I wrote for KubeCon. And I think what's special about this is it's also a workshop book. So it has a workshop which is Scratch programming, and it has AI in it. So you're basically learning how to train your own model by scanning images and taking pictures. So this is just an example of one of the projects you can do to get your kids interested in technology. Like, it's a picture book. It's something they're familiar with. And you don't need to be a genius to code. You can actually be really, really dumb and still be amazing at coding. Like, we learn English and languages, there's no smartness barrier to that. I think coding is really the same thing. You can just learn it. And geniuses do worse at coding. So this was a study of two groups of kids. They were told to read different articles. So group A, the kids were told to read an article about the student who is really smart, and that's how they got into coding, by being a genius. And group B received an article where they read about how the kid got through hard work, and that's how they got into technology. The kids who read about the article about hard work had more confidence that technology is something they're interested in doing. So I think it's important that we show kids that technology isn't that hard and anyone can do it, really. And these are some stereotypical geniuses. I remember in my classrooms we had like Albert Einstein posters. I'm actually not sure how much that inspired me, maybe even demotivated me to be in technology. I think this is a better example of role models for technology. This was actually a workshop I taught at Black Girls Code, and for these girls, it was their first time touching a computer. They've never used a keyboard before. So like from the beginning of the workshop, never touching a computer, to the end, they have programmed their first line of code on the Raspberry Pi. I think this shows that really anyone can do programming. And I think sometimes the way schools introduce technology is not in the most fun way. 90% of parents want their kids to get into technology, but only 53% of schools provide it. So not even all the schools will provide technology courses. So I think we need to step up and be the ones to introduce technology to kids. And this was one of my high school assignments for programming. Some of the questions were get user input on an array and reverse it, create student and class roster objects, write a selection sort in Java. I didn't have a lot of fun with this. I felt like falling asleep in class a lot. So I think sometimes the way schools teach programming, they teach all the fundamentals, and it's important, but it's better if the first thing kids experience with technology is building a game or some fun project, so that when they can decide to take this class later on, but it's not like their first introduction. These two kids, Deecha and Andy, they're actually my age now. Like, this was 10 years ago when they were doing kids workshops. And they've both gotten into technology degrees. And I think this is just really shows you that doing kids workshops, doing fun projects from a young age does make an impact. And kids later will decide themselves that they want to do technology later. And another mistake I commonly see is doing the programming for your kids. This was a kids workshop which I taught at, and one of the volunteers has their hands on the mouse, and the project is a little bit too hard for the kid. So I think that it's important to have age-appropriate projects which aren't too hard, and also not to do it for your kids. This is a better example of a volunteer. This is Hippie Hacker, and he has his hands on the cane. So he's verbally explaining to the kid how to do the projects, so that when she has to do it herself later, she'll remember how to, and she'll remember how to do the instructions. And I think another great way to get your kids involved in technology is relating to their hobbies. Like, for me personally, that was Minecraft. So one ways which my dad related to my hobbies is he said I should open up a Minecraft server. And I've been doing that for like 5 or 10 years and learned a lot of technology from it. But I think today, even like cell phones and mobile games, I mean, you saw the demo earlier. You can vibe code a small game really quickly. So just relating the technology to kids, things your kids already love. And this is a great project, the Lego Spike for getting kids into technology. When I was younger, we had the Lego Mindstorms, but I think they discontinued it. So the Lego Spike's a great project. It's basically you build your own robot and program it. The only issue with this one is it's a little expensive, so only schools use it. This is another great project. It's the Sphero, and they have a BB-8 Star Wars version. So this is a little more affordable, and you can program the rolling ball. And this is a completely free resource, Hour of Code. They have a lot of fun themed ones like Minecraft and Star Wars. So this is a good starting point for getting kids involved. I think it's important to choose a age-appropriate technology. So these are the projects in my Raising Young Coders book. This is the Squishy Circuits project. So kids can start learning technology like as young as 3 years old. This project basically involves Play-Doh. So the kids play with Play-Doh and connect LEDs, conductivity. And this is a paper circuits project. So if your kids love arts and crafts, I actually did this one with my friend when I was really little at a DevOps for Kids workshop. I remember, I just really loved this one. I got to draw. This is the Makerzoid project. I call this the budget-friendly Lego Spike. It's much more affordable, and it's basically the same thing. You build Legos, and you can program it with the motors. This is the MBOT 2 project. And as you can see, I'm going through projects by age range, so this is good for kids 8 to 16. This is a line follower robot. You can build your own track on the floor and follow it, and do the code the motors. And this is the Microbit project. This is a really common one for schools. It's a small embedded board, and it has different sensors on it. So it has like a accelerometer, you can tilt it, LEDs, button, and a touch panel. And this you can code on the website, so you don't need to download an IDE. It's really easy to use. And the Raspberry Pi project, I think Raspberry Pis are a really great computer for kids because nowadays we're just on phones and tablets, and you can go through your life as a kid never touching a computer. Everything's so convenient on the phone. So I think having the Raspberry Pi, it's like a full computer, and it's really affordable. So those projects were all in my Raising Young Coders book. It's published with Apress. It's really meant as a parent's guide to read through it, and then you just buy fun toys for your kids. So hopefully you can take something home for your kids. I think that sometimes kids work better when they bring a friend. Like at the really beginning when I was learning workshops, I used to work with a friend. Sometimes when there's too many kids, the younger one can be left out. But I think what's really important is letting your kids pick their own career. You want to give them the inspiration and show them fun projects, but you're not telling them they have to be a technologist. It's for them to decide later. And they're more likely to do it because you showed them that technology is fun. And not everyone wants to be a programmer, but actually programming is in almost every industry. Like even construction and finance, there's programming and software behind it. And of course, game development. And I think it's important that we embrace AI for learning as we're going forward. Employers demand Gen AI skills. Job posting for generative AI engineers are 7 times. Job postings requiring generative AI skills and other IT roles are up 35 times. And computer science postings that mention at least 2 skills give a salary premium of 260%. So basically, employers are expecting us to learn AI and know skills, but we have this issue where in computer science colleges, they're saying don't use AI. That's cheating. This is a graph of the employment, the computer science placement rates 6 months after graduation. So basically, this curve shows that from 2021 to 2023, there's high placement rate of getting a job after taking computer science, but then ChatGPT came in. So after ChatGPT was announced, you can see the curve was going a bit down and job placement rates are not as good because they're expecting AI skills from students, which we don't have. And this is the lost generation of computer science students, basically my peers who just graduated. So this is one of my friends. She graduated from a top school, Stanford. It's one of the best schools in the United States. And she decided to go on to take a master's because it'll increase her chances of getting a job. And this is another one of my friends who graduated from University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. It says another top 5 computer science school in the United States. But she couldn't find a job, so she's currently unemployed and an indie game dev. And of course, there's me. I'm from Colorado State University Global, and I'm also unemployed, but I'm a book author and I'm speaking here today. So I think this really shows you that we need to teach kids how to do AI skills. So I want to talk about this prompt, learn, and grow methodology. Like when we teach computer science to students, computer science students, we need to first prompt the AI to come up with code, like hello world, and then you need to learn by looking at the code and understand what the code does, and that's how you grow, when you learn. So you keep prompting the AI for code, but you need to actually look at it and learn, and that's how you grow. So this is a new book series which I'm working on called AI First Programming. This basically combines AI learning with computer science skills for first-time learners. So thank you everyone for watching my talk, and I hope you look forward to the conference.